it gets polarized before, and that's the downside of social media, is everything gets reduced to a soundbite. And these situations that I think all of these films are dealing with are very nuanced. And it's very hard to find, when women were kind of claiming their space in the 60s and 70s, there was a sense of public debate in America and in Australia, and that you had town hall debates. You got together and discord and discontent were expressed, but that acceptance and finding a dignified and humane way to live together were part of living in a democracy, and that space seems to have closed down incredibly quickly. So in fact, what all of these films do is they deal with the human, I think, and I think that's the space that film cannot occupy. And something that I found really inspiring and galvanised my thinking a lot was the other Marianne in your film, Your Mother's Friend, who was in prison, was saying to you that you could be the best writer in the world, but when you're dealing with really intense emotions, sometimes words fail us. And so that's the space that film really can occupy, because seeing those faces at the end of all of the people, you didn't need any more words, and watching your face as you processed these questions and seeking an answer, and literally you and those the Iranian feminist women in the film just embracing one another. I didn't need to hear a single word, and the power of the visuals that we all have our resources can actually speak to our humanity in a way that words can get very quickly politicized, I think. But I do think in order to reflect society back to people, you do in a strange way, like a photographer, need to be slightly outside things, but simultaneously inside. Like I had that experience a lot when I'm on stage, is that you're completely inside the moment, but you're also aware that the person in row F is sleeping, and that the light upstage right has gone out. That you do have that kind of third eye quality, I think, when you make work. But I think, yes, definitely. I mean, that's where great satire comes from, being inside society, but being, just one step back. I mean, I suppose that's why artists are dangerous, because they have perspective. We're accused of sort of all being liberals. I don't know what's wrong with being liberal and being humane, but something is a dirty word. But yes, in answer to your question, yes, all the time. Right now, in fact. Of going into to meet refugees in Lebanon and Jordan, and Rohingya refugees who are perched perilously in Bangladesh, particularly with the children that I meet, I find hope in the face of despair, one of the bravest, most active, most difficult things to do, and I am so full of admiration of the dignity that the refugees that I have met, that they have shown in inhumane conditions, and when governments have, many governments around the world have been welcoming, and that's the great irony about Iran is, that they have over a million refugees, and yet, Australia is kind of debating about the fate of 800 people who are on Manus and Nara, and spending $9 billion over the last, since 2013 to sort of keep them there, keep them out. I find that the hope that they display absolutely active. It's an act of human will. It gives me hope for the human race, actually. But yeah. That's, I suppose, two different opinions.
Yes, that's the main thing. It's not a very nice role, but I don't get many nice roles. I usually play the weird, sinister guy. He's a deeply mediocre man who wants to be loved by everybody, and so he becomes a guru, and that's how he gets his love. Well, I think it's the sort of, one of the two big issues of our time is climate change and the refugee problem, and I think the two come together and are caused by each other, and I think there should be a lot more work like this that's trying to address those issues and start the conversation going.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you.